Okay, 7th hour. So we need to finish up before you go on and start researching for your topic. So before you can pick out a topic, you need to analyze the needs of your listeners. You need to plan a strategy. So for example, if you have a positive audience, a supportive audience that agrees with you, then you don't have to work so hard because you're already there. Now, as you take these notes, as I said yesterday, leave a little space in between each one so that you can go back, because we're going to add some information later. So positive or supportive audience kind of goes along with you. Leave a little space. A neutral audience is an audience that just doesn't know enough. You might have to provide information. So like I talked yesterday, is that in the beginning when we were talking about global warming, the big issue was that they had to provide information so that people could understand exactly what they were persuading them to do. Okay. The next audience is what is called a disinterested audience. A disinterested audience has to go deal with indifference. They know about the topic, they're aware of the topic, they have information about it, they just don't care. And apathy is the biggest issue that you have to deal with that. And finally, an opposed audience, which is the most difficult of all audiences to face. This is an audience that everybody, for the most part, disagrees with you. Okay? So when you're looking at those kinds of things, you don't need to write down these questions, but you have to know this about your audience. Do they already know a lot about it? What can I tell them that they do not know? Is it going to interest some members more than others? Can I make it interesting to anybody at all? So let's go back to the 4 types of audiences. What is the strategy? Okay. Well, the first strategy for a positive audience is you got to keep them happier, make them happier. So you're going to use pathos. So this is what you're going to write back in that space that I told you to keep. Okay. Then, if you have a neutral audience, remember a neutral audience just doesn't know enough about it. You have to provide logos. That means that you need to provide the information so that they can understand that there is actually an issue. And for a disinterested audience, you need to light a fire underneath them. In other words, you need to make them feel that this issue is important. So remember, this is the apathetic audience. You got to talk directly to them. You need to provide them pathos. And finally, if you have an opposed audience, you have to have a double strategy. You have to soften them up so they'll listen. So that's pathos. And you have to have sound reasoning. There's logos. Okay? So what do you do if you have an audience that is a little bit mixed? Well, guess what? You have to implement all of the strategies. Just like we did with the rapid fire. You have to have ethos, pathos, and logos. Okay? The last thing that we're going to talk about is the Monroe sequence. And this is what is on your outline that I distributed to you yesterday. Okay? So the first step of a Monroe sequence is to get their attention. Hey, we have a problem. Hey, we have a high dropout rate here at GLR. Then you have to explain why that's a problem. So you have to share with them that there's a need. So let me explain the problem. Here's the numbers. Here are the things. This is how it affects our community. This is how it affects our school system. Then you have to provide satisfaction. In other words, you have to provide a solution. So here's my solution to our dropout rate at GLR. Maybe we need to have put together an apprenticeship program. Things that kids can do in order that they are earning college credit or even tech school and get them ready for the workforce. Then you have to tell them about visualization. Visualization is, if we implement my solution, this is what will happen. And if we do not do this, this is what will happen. You need to make us see it and experience it and say, this is going to be the ultimate outcome. And finally, will you help me? And the action step is the most important step. What are you going to have your audience do to show you, the speaker, that they believe what you're saying? Are you going to have them write their congressman? Are they going to go out and buy something? Are they going to donate their time to something? What are they going to do? Okay? Not just believe, but do. Okay? So those are the notes, sophomores. And so now you can go and start researching your topic. All right, we'll see you guys later.